In today's episode, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about moments in sports media recently. Charles Barkley's impassioned defense of WNBA rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. During a recent appearance on the Bill Simmons podcast, Barkley didn't hold back as he voiced his frustrations with how the media and some WNBA players have treated Clark during her rookie season. Known for his bold and candid opinions, Barkley raised serious concerns about what he called petty jealousness within the WNBA community and unfair media narratives surrounding Clark. Before we get into the details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of Hoop Zone Sports News, where we bring you the hottest takes and latest updates on all things basketball. Charles Barkley, one of the most iconic and outspoken figures in basketball, has always been known for calling things as he sees them, and his latest comments about Caitlin Clark were no exception. During his recent appearance on the Bill Simmons podcast, Barkley did not mince words when addressing the negative media coverage and criticism that Clark has received during her rookie season with the Indiana Fever. Barkley specifically called out WNBA players and media figures, accusing them of being unfairly critical of Clark not because of her performance, but because of personal biases and what he described as petty jealousness. According to Barkley, the treatment of Clark from some within the league and the media has been unwarranted and damaging, especially for a player who has brought so much excitement and attention to the sport. He didn't hold back in his critique, saying, "These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have fucked this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you." His choice of words may have been colorful, but his message was clear. The media and some WNBA players were creating a false narrative around Clark, one that was not based on her abilities or actions on the court, but rather on personal grievances. Let's take a moment to talk about Caitlin Clark and why she's become such a polarizing figure in women's basketball. Clark, who made a name for herself as one of the top players in college basketball, has transitioned into the WNBA and instantly made her mark. Her electric performances, sharp shooting, and playmaking abilities have captivated fans and made her one of the most exciting players to watch, both in college and now professionally. However, despite her on-court success, Clark's rookie season has not been without controversy. One of the most talked about incidents involved a flagrant foul by Chicago Sky guard Chennedy Carter, an incident that sparked heated debates among fans and players alike. Additionally, there have been comments from WNBA veterans and some in the media that have been interpreted as critical of Clark, with some believing that jealousy over her rising popularity and talent may be at the root of these criticisms. Barkley, a longtime supporter of women's basketball, was quick to point out that much of the negative attention Clark has received stems not from her actual behavior or performance, but from how others in the league perceive her. He argued that the backlash Clark has faced is less about her play and more about her personality and the jealousy that some feel toward her rapid rise to stardom. One of the key points Barkley emphasized during his rant on the Bill Simmons podcast was the role the media plays in shaping public perception, especially when it comes to athletes. Barkley, who has been a part of the sports media landscape for years, understands the power that media outlets and commentators have in influencing how players are viewed by fans and the public. He made it clear that people believe what they hear on television, which is why it's so important to avoid slander or creating false narratives, especially when those narratives are based on personal dislike rather than factual evidence. Barkley's concern is that the negative media coverage surrounding Clark is not only unfair, but also damaging to her reputation and could potentially impact her career moving forward. These ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have fucked this thing up any worse, Barkley said. expressing his disappointment with the way some in the WNBA and media have handled Clark's rise. He went on to praise Clark, calling her incredible, and highlighting the attention and excitement she has brought to both the WNBA and college basketball. Barkley made it clear that he believes Clark is a generational talent who deserves to be celebrated, not torn down by jealousy and petty criticism. There's no denying the impact Caitlin Clark has had on the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole. From her record-breaking performances in college to her explosive rookie season in the WNBA, Clark has quickly become one of the most talked-about players in the sport. Her ability to draw fans and attention to women's basketball has been nothing short of remarkable, and many see her as one of the future faces of the WNBA. Clark's influence extends beyond just her on-court abilities. She has become a symbol of the potential growth and popularity of women's basketball, attracting new fans to the sport and helping to raise its profile. However, with that attention comes scrutiny. And as Barkley pointed out, some of that scrutiny has been unfair and driven by jealousy. One of the reasons Clark has garnered so much attention is her ability to perform under pressure. Despite the negative media coverage and the criticism from some within the WNBA, Clark has continued to excel on the court, letting her game speak for itself. She has shown a level of poise and maturity that is rare for a rookie, refusing to let the outside noise affect her performance. Barkley's comments serve as a reminder of the importance of supporting and uplifting rising stars in any sport, especially in women's basketball, where players like Caitlin Clark are helping to grow the game and bring it to new heights. Instead of tearing down young players with jealousy and unfair criticism, the focus should be on celebrating their achievements and recognizing the positive impact they are having on the sport. Clark's story is not just about her individual success, but also about the growth of women's basketball as a whole. As more attention is drawn to the WNBA and its players, it's crucial that the media and the league work together to create an environment that fosters positivity and support for its athletes. The future of the sport depends on the success of young stars like Caitlin Clark, and it's essential that the basketball community rallies behind them rather than allowing jealousy and negativity to detract from their contributions. In closing, Charles Barkley's passionate defense of Caitlin Clark is a wake-up call for the WNBA and the media. His message is clear. Stop allowing petty jealousies and personal biases to cloud judgment and focus on celebrating the incredible talent that players like Clark bring to the game. Barkley's comments are a reminder that rising stars like Caitlin Clark deserve our support, not our criticism. As we continue to follow Clark's journey in the WNBA, it's important to recognize the larger implications of this conversation. The success of women's basketball depends on uplifting and promoting its best players, not tearing them down with unfair narratives. Let's celebrate the achievements of players like Caitlin Clark and ensure that the future of the WNBA is one filled with positivity, support, and growth. That's it for today's episode of Hoop Zone Sports News. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates and insights on everything happening in the world of basketball. We'll see you next time.